Okay, well, I know there's a problem there. Well, step 2 is identifying the lack of ability as well as a reason to work on it. The reason, as we said, is I don't want to get shield grab every time. Eat a lot of
I
damage
never
with
want to
the
get
edge
shield
guarded.
grab. It's the worst feeling in the world when I get shield grab. So,
Okay.
absolutely.
Number 3 is understanding and knowing how to perform the ability. So the ability we kind of just talked about. Seems like there are a few things here that we've identified, which is, one, maybe linking the aerial a little bit late so that the gap between the aerial and the shine is minimum, so I can't get shield grabbed. Okay, so that's one thing. And then also we added fast falling in there, which it sounds like if I fast fall, there might just be a whole range that I can
That's right.
do it in. You know,
So we have to learn about fast falling as well as delaying or staggering hit stun.
How about I practice that right now a little bit? I should experiment a little bit, right?
Yeah.
How are you guys liking the 60 frames per second stream, by the way? I think some people are saying, man, this stream is like 1080p, 60 FPS. My internet can't handle it.
Wait, did somebody actually say that?
Yeah, someone actually said
Dude,
that.
Zoo is so proud that we got like the 60 frame per second thing going. Because the first 2 streams we had, like we were having so much difficulty. Shout outs to Avermedia for producing the live gamer portable. It's really difficult to get up and running, and I kind of wish there were more resources available for that specific piece of hardware. The quality that it outputs is fantastic.
Yeah.
But there are all kinds of like weird interactions between the LGP and like random drivers on the computer that caused some problems. So we did go through some difficulties, but Zoo figured it out. Zoo got it going, and now we have a really high quality stream that maybe some people don't appreciate because their internet can't handle it.
But
Upgrade.
back to the 4 steps of competence. Wait, I gotta put this in the 4 steps. This is very important, actually. 4 steps of competence. 1, identifying lack of competence. Yeah. Identifying lack of as well.
No. The first one is just... They're stages. They're not like steps. In the first stage,
Stages,
you don't even realize that there's something that you're missing.
So
Like that's how little you know about what's going on. You don't even realize. You don't even realize that.
no competence, none. All right. Identifying lack of competence, and this might go outside the border. Let's see. Oh, identifying lack of competence. Let's just
Yeah, that's good.
actually let's. Okay.
I don't think stage 1 is the Dunning-Kruger. That's something else to get into, but
Understanding.
Dunning-Kruger is thinking that you're much better than you actually are.
Yeah.
That's kind of like a different effect.
Knowing how to perform, understanding, identifying lack of confidence, defining.
Zoo is getting really into this. I think he really just wants to use like the pieces.
I mean, I want to lay it out so people can see it.
Yeah. All of this material, again, like I have it into documents right now. I am going to share it, and it's going to be available. You'll be able to find the resources again through our Facebook, or I'll probably link it through our Twitch channel as well. Yeah, I have all this stuff written up. I have a whole bunch of quotes for you guys to go through and read if you want to read them. All kinds of motivational stuff. It'll be fun.
Developing second nature. I don't know. Okay, that's terrible summary, but let's just.
It's Zoo good enough.
Okay, whatever. Okay, so I just want to do this real quick, but okay. So lack of competence. I think we've gone over that. Just like not even knowing like what the heck is going on.
I think you guys get it. There are stages of how good you are at something. Incorporating as much as you can into the third stage, which is like learning about it and being able to develop your ability to execute it. That is the stage that we want to focus on the most.
Absolutely. Well, 3 and 4 for sure, right?
Yeah, 3 and 4, but three in particular is like that's where like the entire ideology of 20XX comes into play, because you want to break down the situations into as granular as possible. Into like as small a frame as possible, and learn as much about what is going on as you can, because once you have all of that knowledge and once you are able to implement it, eventually you'll reach a point where you don't need to think about it, and you'll just be able to execute it flawlessly. And that's the stage where, like, if both players are able to do that, the game is by far the most interesting, because all of the focus and all of the concentration of the player is placed on strategy and manipulation, and it becomes I'm getting choked up.
This is where the game really begins. I think
this is where top level play is, because that top level play, it's very rare to just see straight up execution mistakes. It's players are trying to force their opponent to make like a decision error, or they're trying to prevent themselves from making a decision error. Or it's mostly top level play is about decision making, not about fighting themselves and fighting with their execution.
All right. Here, I'll leave this for you so you can kind of figure out what's next.
So kind of like the first thing that I want to talk about is now that we've talked about competence, it is much easier to learn how to like implement this idea when you're dealing with the mechanical aspect of the game, which is again like the execution side of it. Building an effective training routine, you need to recognize which pieces of movement are like most important, and not just kind of like discard them because, oh, I've been dashing left and right for years. You actually want to like sit there and like think and like study like the mechanics behind dashing. It's actually really a complex topic. Stratocaster has put out there like a frame breakdown of the different breakpoints within a dash. So when you start a dash, how long you hold a dash for like the first like initial like X number of frames determines like how far that dash will go. And then there's a frame breakpoint where it's, if you are still holding forward, you'll break into run from your dash. But if you let go of it if you let go of it and you're not holding forward over that breakpoint, you'll complete like a full normal dash. So you can kind of do like this interesting thing, even to just like demonstrate the usefulness of this. You can do short range dashes, which is what Zoo is kind of like demonstrating there. But you could also combine that by doing like one frame tap to dash forward and then let go of it. And then right before the frame happens where it registers the change into dash, you could hold forward again and then you would break into run. So you'd essentially get like this really short range dash that has broken into run. You could hypothetically cancel into shine immediately at that point without having to do like a jump cancel shine. So there's an interesting facet there. There's also the frame breakdown of when you can foxtrot, which is refreshing your dash. That point happens before the end of a dash occurs. So most dashes end on like frame 21 to frame 27, something like that. You can always foxtrot left or right on frame 20, I believe, with every character, with every dash. Again, I have all this information compiled. I will be putting it out there as a resource on our Facebook group. So it's something that you definitely want to study up on. You can get kind of like creative yourself about how to apply that information. But the important thing about it is getting the information first of all. Like if it's not there, you can't figure out different ways to apply it. It's super choppy. What?
I think it might be people's internet, honestly.
I think it's your
Our
internet.
stream is just so OP.
Our stream is beasts.
Yeah.
You guys, it's your fault. It's victim blaming.
We can upload faster than they can download. If that's
Oh my god.
that's a problem.
You would think we would have all kinds of complaints about Comcast, but they're really
Comcast is good for us right now, so.
Shout outs to Comcast. Can we get sponsored by Comcast?
Dude, that'd be bad, actually. That'd be kind of rough.
We would be hated.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, or we might single-handedly or dual-handedly
See, this
increase the
is
reputation of
something that I
Comcast.
think is important. Like Yurok in chat right now, he's saying all dashes last 20 frames or have an IASA there. Those are two completely different statements, but he's kind of presenting both as being the truth. All dashes don't last 20 frames. They do have a point where they can interrupt and do another dash on frame 20, but it doesn't mean the dash itself only lasts 20 frames. The dashes last longer. Like I think Marth's is like 27 frames.
I don't know anything about frame data, so it's all you, dude.
It's all me.
Yeah.
I actually have it up right now. I'm gonna take a look.
Marth has a 27 frame dash. It's 27 frames.
Oh,
Ah,
oh,
so happy.
slow as hell.
Okay, so on top of like recognizing that there are basic pieces of movement, one of the things that there's a book out there. I'm sure like some of the stream chat has read it. It's called Inner Game of Tennis. Inner Game of Tennis basically talks about like the importance of visualizing what you want to do, and then kind of like allowing yourself to match the visualization. Like not spending too much focus on the execution itself, but again maintaining that visualization. Like they again frame it in tennis, but it's I don't want to focus so hard on hitting the ball. I want to focus on where I'm hitting the ball to. And you can kind of do the same thing with Smash.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So we really want to talk about how you establish the visualization and establish it correctly, so to speak. And to do that, you really have to, again, study the frame data or go into like a slow-mo speed and look at the execution itself. Like, when I think about that, when I think about like my wave dashing, sometimes when I'm not paying any attention, I'll be like wave dashing across the stage. I'll be like autopiloting movement all over, and my character won't be making that like ata noise at all. Like he won't be making, if you want to do like the air dodge noise, he won't be making that like obnoxious noise. But my wave dashes are still imperfect enough that if I were to go into it and like really look at it, it's very obvious that my character is coming off of the ground.
It's not very obvious to me. Is there a good way to show this?
There is. There happens to be a great way to show this. You can use slow-mo.
Who does that?
Who goes into half speed? I go into half speed. And if I can do it, you guys can do it. If I think it's useful, you guys might think it's useful.
Okay, well, I don't believe you. I don't really want to take a look at this.
We're going to go into half speed and just kind of like take a look at what happens when you do inefficient wave dashes.
For all the dummies out there like me, like I have no idea what a wave dash even looks like. I just slide.
Half speed.
Half speed? Why not 1/3 speed or like 1/4 speed or 2/3?
I don't know if this is true. I just kind of do this because it makes sense to me. I don't like the idea of slowing anything down into like a third of the speed. Like it makes a lot of sense to me intuitively. Like to go from 120 BPM to 60 BPM or from 120 to 240. It just makes a lot of sense to go in like an even increment where the step up process is I don't know how else to describe that. Don't do it in 1/3. I think it sucks.
I think humans. I've read somewhere that humans are really good at breaking things in half, specifically halves, and that might be the case for like time as well and like
definitely.
rhythm. So I mean I asked Cactus why not 2/3. You know, it's literally or not. It's actually not the in between, but it's kind of in between 1/2 and 1.
Yeah.
But you know, I think it's just harder to like. For your brain to translate that to it's harder to add 50% than to double it, or you know what I mean. But yeah, so okay, I have it as 1/4 right now because I've never really like looked at. I just kind of want to see real quick, like in a wave dash, so we jump and then we air dodge.
So
Yeah?
just to demonstrate this, the ideal thing that we want to do when we think about a wave dash is we want to break it down into individual components. And the first thing about a wave dash is that you have to jump.
Wait, sorry, one sec. Hey, for all of you guys who are having trouble with the stream, can you just can you guys change your like quality setting down? You guys might have it as source. You guys might want to like turn down the quality to like something else. Can you guys do that? I don't know, because that should help a lot. Because if you're doing it on source, it's gonna be at like 1080p, so it's gonna be really high.
Oh man! So I didn't realize that when Falco does a normal turnaround, his head like twitches to the side. It's freaking creepy. Look at.
Oh my god.
That's creepy. Oh my god.
That's actually really weird.
Oh. Sorry.
Well, it's like he turns and then like
He like shakes his head really. Nightmares. All right. So, just to give you an example of like the knowledge that goes into something as simple as wave dashing. So wave dashing broken down into individual components is jump into air dodge. When you think about jump, when you're studying jump, you need to really be breaking it down into what happens when I press the jump button. And you guys might already know this stuff, but again, it's important to at least review it and then see how it impacts the quality of your wave dashes. So what happens when you jump is you enter jump squat. You guys can see there's like a period of time where I'm going to press jump, and Falco like dips down, kind of like bends into his leg. It's literally him squatting down before he jumps. It's jump squat animation.
Do that again. Oh.
Super
Wait.
obvious to see.
Okay, so do that again. Oh, so it's
So
like
Zua's gonna
I'm
demonstrate
gonna demonstrate
this
this.
right
Okay, jump. I actually didn't really even know that happened. Wait, do that again. So when you press the jump button, he like does this. He does like
Bends down. He
this.
literally squats down because he's getting ready to jump. It's the jump squat animation.
So during this time, you like he can't do anything.
He can do stuff though.
Oh, like what?
He can do stuff. He can do a grab. Grabs will cancel the jump squat animation. So characters with a long jump squat have a big window when they can do a jump cancel grab.
Oh.
And-
so that's how jump cancel grab works. So if you like dash, that's how you can like. Oh, so you dash, you jump squat. During that, you can grab.
Right.
Okay.
So just to demonstrate that, you see how he dips down and then he grabs and it cancels the dip.
Dude, why did they put that in this game?
Who knows?
Why did the developers
Who
do
knows?
that? That's crazy.
The other
Okay.
thing that you can do out of the jump squat animation is you can do up smash. So up smash you can press down and then it'll cancel into the up smash charge. You can't do anything else. You can't shield. You can't do whatever.
So is that how like when you're running as Fox, you do like run and then you just like do up and A and that just does an up smash?
Yeah,
Like it's because you're jumping.
It's
and
because you hit up and it's entering the jump squat animation, then you hit A and it charges up smash.
Oh my god. Okay.
So
Holy crap.
So to get down to it, jump squat animation. Every character has a certain number of frames to their jump squat. The number of frames in their jump squat does vary. Like Fox and Sheik both have a 3-frame jump squat. Falco, I believe, has a 5. You can up B during jump squat. Thank you, Simna.
Oh,
So the
there
other
we
one-
go.
Yeah, and it cancels and charges just to demonstrate it. Thank you, Simna. So every character, the characters do have like a range of different jump squat animations. I think Bowser has one of the slowest ones. It would be really easy to see it with him. So the jump squat animation leads immediately to you going airborne. The first frame that you're out of jump squat, you are able to input air dodge. A good wave dash essentially keeps you on the ground.
So just I pulled up the data. So the fastest is 4. Falco is 6. So all the jump.
That's
oh, is
number of
that-
frames to being airborne. So on the 4th frame, Fox is airborne. He has a 3-frame jump squat. I think that doesn't seem right.
I remember it was 4 and 6 though.
Yeah. Fox jump squats for 3 frames and is in the air on 4th frame.
Oh, okay. So his jump squat for 3,
that-
and then
that whole-
3
that
and
whole chart
5.
is
Oh,
number
gotcha.
of frames to
Okay,
be airborne.
okay, for sure. So that's the whole. Okay.
So often, because we're at 1/4 speed right now, it's very difficult to
want me
see.
to put
no,
it-
sorry.
right.
It's very difficult to see this in full speed, but a lot of the time, like I see even like mid to high level players have these really sloppy wave dashes, and it's because they're kind of entering this height with their jump squat or with their jump.
So you're
Not
saying
so-
okay.
But they're wasting a lot of frames in the air, and for every frame that you're going up in the air, it's gonna have an effect time-wise on how long it takes you to get back to the ground once you input your air dodge. And for that entire amount of time is essentially like an inefficiency. It's slowing you down. It's creating openings that wouldn't otherwise be there, simply because your execution isn't tight enough.
So what you're saying is you want to air dodge the frame that you leave jump squat, like the frame after? Is that, or do you want to input it the last frame of jump squat?
See, this is something that I'm not actually sure about, and somebody's gonna have to confirm this. But
I think it is. I think it is the last frame, right? 'Cause
I think you might be able to input it, like say I was Fox or say I'm Falco actually. I think you might be able to input it on frame 5 and it'll register for frame 6 and happen frame perfect. So hypothetically speaking, that gives you like a 2-frame window to do a frame perfect.
Well, if you
wave dash.
so let's say if your jump squat, if Falco's jump squat is 5 frames, on the last frame of jump squat you input it. On frame 6 you immediately go in the air and then, oh yeah, how does that work?
Right.
Yeah.
So somebody's gonna have to confirm like the exact mechanic of this. But again, the ideal is
Inputs happen 1 frame later.
Yeah,
I knew that, but
yeah,
then I'm
yeah.
thinking, so on that next frame, then the air dodge. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it would be on the last frame of jump squat probably then.
yeah.
But
So-
either way, the point is
The point is that we want to reduce the amount of frame waste we have just to make our these are executions that should be automatic for pretty much every player at this point, but they're not because it hasn't really been talked about. Like, how do we study this? How do we practice it effectively? How do we do it in a way where we're honing that ability and cutting away with the waste? As opposed to just like every time you start up the setup and go to practice solo, you just sit down and you spam tech skill wildly, just moving as soon as you can. Like, it doesn't make sense to do it that way. Like, you should be targeting something that you feel is weak and working to improve it.
Oh, okay. Cool. So, okay. Jump squat. Oh, that one was good, right? Oh, that one I did it too early. So an imperfect one might look like that. Okay, I still saw myself leave the ground a little bit. Okay, that one was too early because this 1/4 speed is kind of hard. Okay. Okay, I got a few good ones. I think I'm gonna increase the speed just to, because I think I have an idea of what this looks like now.
Yeah.
So let's take the next step. Okay.
So this is at half speed right here. He's just going to be trying to look at... So not only does he want to consider like the time of the animation, but you actually want to look at the animation itself and get familiar with it. Like, you don't want to say like, oh, I'm going to wave dash and just have this vague image in your head of like your character as a blob moving in this direction for a certain amount of time. Actually, like, sit down and look at it. Like, just do a wave dash and look at the animation. Like, take notes on what happens. Like, he does his wave dash, but when he hits air dodge, like, his hands go back, and then before he's able to be actionable, before like he comes out of the wave dash animation, he brings his hands back to being forward and then like stands up.
Oh, okay.
You want to kind of like take a note on at what point in that like stand up of that animation am I able to move? Am I able to do something?
Okay. It's still hard because it's half speed, but I think I'm gonna move to full speed now because I think I have an idea of like what I'm looking at now.
Yeah.
That was very helpful. So let me try this again. Okay. Okay. The hands.
So ideally, we don't see like Falco. His head will come down. We don't want to see the animation that happens right afterwards, which is that he like pops back up. So on like about half of these, Zoo is actually doing like a slightly inefficient one because you're seeing the animation go down, and then you're seeing this like chunkiness where...
Oh, like this? Like those are bad, right?
Right. These ones are bad because you can kind of see like the head position go back to this up position. He should ideally like stick to the ground into the wave dash animation.
It's like, it's actually just like one body. You don't see this like weird pixelation kind of thing.
Yeah. So the way that I actually sometimes use to like verify when I'm actionable again is Shield is an incredible tool for seeing when you come out of lag. So if you do like, if you just want to like figure that out of like grab, you can press grab and then hold shield, and then on the first frame out of it, you'll just shield. It's a good way to give yourself a trigger. Ideally, you don't even need that though, because you're going to be like familiar with the animation enough that you can recognize that you're approaching the end of the animation. You take a note on what happens towards the end of the animation. You've ingrained it in yourself enough that you don't need the shield trigger itself. But it is a useful tool.
Okay.
So another good thing to try and practice out of this is, so we start to combine like a simple movement into a more complex one, which is like, we'll do a wave dash into another wave dash immediately when it's possible. And we don't want to combine like too many things onto this because it kind of like, it gets distracting very easily. You want to be focused on one piece of your gameplay at a time. So one of the other things that I do like to talk about is it's very easy to sit down with this idea and just spam the action over and over. What ends up happening is that you get into a rhythm of doing the action, but you're not actually thinking about each one of those like action inputs. Don't get into too much of a rhythm. You do want to like break it up, you do one, and you really pay attention to that one, and you think about it. You think about that one you just did, and you take a note on it, say like, oh, it looks like it was just like a frame off or whatever, and then you think about how the input would need to change, and then you do another one.
I really like what Urax just said right there.
Yeah, there's actually a good tool. You can roll to the edge and then try and wave dash to the ledge right here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I can think of one particular tournament where I did a very nice wave dash.
Oh yeah?
At the edge, yeah.
So I actually talked to Hax about this particular wave dash, and he calls this the no life wave dash. Because if you're able to do it very consistently, you essentially have no life. But that's not even true. It's not that hard to do.
So this is actually the frame. Oh, because there's no air dodge.
Right.
But okay, so if you even do it a frame or two late, does that mean there's no air dodge? Is this an actual frame perfect wave dash?
I don't know.
Or is it close?
I don't know.
Is it just close? But I mean, even if there's a few frames of loss, this is a pretty good indication of.
Yeah. This is a very good. This is a very good test.
Wow, this is great. Actually, I really like this
if
one.
your wave dash is pretty close to being frame perfect.
So you and Hax already knew about this?
Yes.
You guys are.
No
You guys
life.
have no lives.
The no life wave dash.
Dude, I have a life. Dude, you guys have no lives. I have a life. You guys have no lives. I'm just gonna keep saying this. Wow.
So yeah, could you turn on?
Yeah, I'll go to training or two player.
That's good too.
Take him out. Yeah, I mean, like, thinking about the wave dashes like this, now that I'm thinking about the way I play, I definitely have a lot of bad wave dashes.
So what I do when I first like sit down, again, the topic of this episode is creating an effective training routine.
That's what this is all leading to, by the way. Sorry that took so long, but there's a lot of stuff to get to that point.
So the important thing is identifying very small things that you should be practicing and looking into how you can be executing it and like kind of creating that like visualization of what it looks like when it's done properly. Pairing the execution with it, you want to have that one thing very present in your mind. You just want to do that again, that one wave dash, and then like look at it, look at the animation for it. I'm actually doing like slightly inefficient ones because I haven't like gotten a chance to play it all day. But this is like the important. Even as like a high level player, when I first sit down, my wave dashes aren't perfect. My wave dashes aren't great. Even I have to sit down and I have to restore my timing to where it should be. So
Wow, okay. My wave dashes are terrible. Like, this isn't me acting anymore. Like, this, wow, like, they're actually really bad.
So now that he's able to like kind of see the individual animation of it, kind of have a.
I mean, I just wanted to take a look at my average wave dash. I wanted to go into that autopilot just to see what it normally looks like. I was just curious, that's all. So, like, when I actually spam... Wow. My average wave dash is terrible. Okay.
Yeah, his average